Henyard says she is endorsing a new board, but not announcing who they are just yet, instead promising to name them later this month. Henyard is under investigation by the FBI.
Now she's teasing a big announcement that she claims will result in some of her opponents being arrested and charged.
If you're in Dolton, Illinois and thinking about attending Mayor Tiffany Henyard's re-election party, be prepared to pay $50 just to walk through the door. That's right, $50 is the entry fee, and if you're looking to show even more support, the price only goes up from there. While it's not uncommon for politicians to charge for fundraising events, the steep fee has raised eyebrows given the growing controversy surrounding Henyard's time in office. With allegations of financial mismanagement, lavish spending, and public distrust mounting, many are left wondering if this is a bold fundraising strategy or a desperate attempt to patch up deeper financial troubles.
It's not until 2025, yet Tiffany Henyard has officially decided she wants to stay as mayor despite the cloud of controversy surrounding
Tiffany Henyard's tenure as mayor of Dolton, a small town of about 200 residents just south of Chicago, has been fraught with controversy, allegations, and political turmoil akin to a high-stakes TV drama. Since taking office in 2021, Henyard has faced relentless criticism over her leadership style, financial practices, and alleged misuse of power. Accusations of corruption, financial mismanagement, and claims that she used the local police force to intimidate political rivals have cast a long shadow over her administration. Allegations of extravagant spending and misuse of public funds for personal expenses have raised serious questions about her priorities as a public servant. Under her leadership, Dolton, already grappling with economic challenges, has been pushed into an even more precarious state. But that report suggests Henyard funneled funds into personal ventures and engaged in questionable financial dealings, further fueling discontent among residents, town officials, and even some of her former allies. Critics argue that her administration has consistently placed personal ambition ahead of the town's welfare, deepening divisions within the community. Tiffany Henyard's tenure as mayor of Dolton has brought the town to a pivotal crossroads, with its future hanging in the balance. Despite growing unrest and mounting criticism, Henyard appears undeterred, pressing forward with a re-election campaign that includes a launch party, a move seen by some as bold confidence and by others as blatant audacity. Her decision comes amidst intense backlash from residents and town officials who have openly questioned her ability to govern. Allegations of corruption, misuse of public funds, and heavy-handed political tactics have fueled frustration, with many arguing she should step down rather than seek another term. Her apparent disregard for these concerns has only deepened perceptions that she is out of touch with the town's struggles. For a community already grappling with economic hardship, Henyard's push for re-election is viewed as either an act of defiance or sheer overconfidence. Whether her gamble will resonate with voters or backfire remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: her political journey has become a defining chapter for Dolton, forcing residents to confront deeper issues of leadership, accountability, and governance.
It was a special board meeting because business has not gotten done at 2 previous meetings, so that's some progress there, but this meeting was not without its fair share.
Tiffany Henyard's re-election campaign is making headlines not only for its audacious timing amid mounting controversy, but also for its eyebrow-raising fundraising strategy, which feels more like an exclusive club membership than a traditional political effort. To attend her campaign launch party, supporters must pay a $50 entry fee, and that's just the beginning. Henyard's elaborate tier donation system assigns contribution amounts. For $35, you earn the title of resident supporter, but ironically, that amount won't even grant you entry to the event. For $50, you're upgraded to supporter, a distinction so minimal it borders on satire. The strategy has left many residents questioning her priorities, as it appears Henyard is placing a premium on loyalty, making it clear that support for her campaign comes at a literal cost. Tiffany Henyard's re-election campaign fundraising strategy takes exclusivity to new heights, offering supporters a chance to level up their loyalty. For a price. Starting at $35, donors earn the title of resident supporter, though, ironically, this amount won't even get them into her launch party. For $50, the title shifts to supporter, offering little more than a symbolic upgrade. But it doesn't stop there. For $150, donors ascend to bronze supporter status, a designation that supposedly reflects deeper commitment, or at least a willingness to pay more. The stakes get even higher at $500, where contributors are crowned silver sponsors, hinting at a position within Henyard's inner circle. though the actual perks remain a mystery. But the ultimate show of devotion comes at a jaw-dropping $11,000, where supporters earn the prestigious title of Gold Sponsor, signifying elite status and perhaps bragging rights more than tangible benefits. Yet even this lofty tier isn't the ceiling for Henyard's pay-to-play loyalty system, as the campaign hints at an even higher echelon for only the most dedicated or deep-pocketed backers. Tiffany Henyard's re-election campaign has reached new heights of controversy with a fundraising strategy that offers supporters the chance to buy loyalty through a tiered donation system. At the top of this pay-to-play hierarchy is the eye-popping $55,000 Platinum Sponsor tier, a badge of ultimate loyalty and generosity for those willing to shell out an amount more fitting for a luxury investment than a small-town mayoral race. Critics have slammed the pricing structure as a blatant cash grab, calling it tone-deaf and out of touch with the realities faced by Dalton's residents. From resident supporter at $35, which doesn't even grant entry to the campaign launch party, to the elite Gold Sponsor at $11,000, each tier comes with a flashy title but few, if any, tangible perks. The absurdity of assigning supporter labels to dollar amounts has fueled mockery, with critics arguing that it underscores a fundamental disconnect between Henyard's campaign and the average voter. Even some of her supporters are questioning the optics of this approach, wondering how extravagant fundraising tactics will help rebuild trust with a skeptical electorate already disillusioned by allegations of corruption and mismanagement.
First time in many weeks, Dalton trustees and Mayor Tiffany Henyard held a public meeting together, but not at Village.
Tiffany Henyard's re-election campaign has come under intense scrutiny, not only for its extravagant fundraising tactics, but also for the troubling questions it raises about her priorities and leadership style. The decision to charge supporters up to $55,000 for sponsor status and entry to campaign events has sparked outrage, especially given the long-standing allegations of financial mismanagement that have plagued her tenure as mayor of Dalton. Critics argue that this fundraising approach reflects a pattern of questionable financial behavior, further eroding trust in her administration. Adding to the controversy, donations are being funneled through a Zelle account linked directly to Henyard's personal bank account, a highly unorthodox practice that has drawn sharp criticism and raised serious ethical concerns. This move has led many to question whether the funds are truly being used for campaign purposes, or if it's yet another ploy to pad her pockets. Given the allegations of misusing public funds during her time in office, the fundraising strategy has only fueled skepticism among residents and critics alike, with many viewing it as yet another sign of a leadership style more focused on self-interest than public service. Tiffany Henyard's re-election campaign has only amplified suspicions about what's really going on behind the scenes. Despite mounting criticism and growing opposition, Henyard remains defiant, clinging to power with unwavering determination. She has even dubbed herself the Super Mayor, a self-proclaimed title that has backfired, further alienating many of her constituents. To critics, the moniker symbolizes an inflated ego and a leadership style that prioritizes personal ambition over community needs. But it's not just the title that has drawn backlash, it's her governing style. Dalton residents and trustees alike have accused Henyard of running the town like a dictatorship, wielding power with little regard for transparency or accountability. Allegations that she has used the police force to intimidate political opponents have only deepened the air of mistrust. Her penchant for lavish spending, often at the taxpayer's expense, has further fueled frustration, leaving many residents questioning whose interests she truly serves. As the controversies pile up, so do calls for greater oversight and accountability, with critics viewing her leadership as a growing threat to the town's stability. From extravagant parties to unnecessary expenses, Tiffany Henyard's actions have painted the image of a leader more focused on self-promotion than on addressing Dalton's urgent issues. Meanwhile, the town's financial woes continue to mount, with debt piling up under her watch. Instead of confronting these challenges head-on, Henyard seems more intent on solidifying her image and securing her political future, a move that has left many questioning her fitness to lead. Her refusal to meaningfully address criticism has only reinforced the perception of a leader disconnected from her community's needs, prioritizing power and personal ambition over meaningful progress for Dalton.
As another board meeting got canceled because of a lack of a quorum.
And that came after a disagreement about where to hold the meeting as trustees expressed concerns for their...
Dalton, Illinois, is facing a severe financial crisis, grappling with a debt of over $5 million, and the situation shows no signs of improvement. The town's finances are so dire that some have speculated the police vehicles could soon be repossessed due to the village's inability to make payments. Despite the worsening crisis, Mayor Tiffany Henyard seems indifferent to the town's struggles, choosing instead to focus on her public image. Her leadership has come under increasing scrutiny as she continues to pour resources into self-promotion, rather than addressing the urgent issues at hand. Henyard has taken the step of plastering her face on billboards and posters around town with slogans like "Keeping My Promises" and "The Future is Now," signaling a priority on personal branding rather than confronting the financial challenges threatening Dalton's future. People's Choice Asterisk has faced growing comparisons to authoritarian leaders, including Venezuela's Nicolás Maduro. This has only amplified the frustration among Dalton's residents, who feel their mayor is more interested in enhancing her personal image than addressing the financial crisis she's overseeing. Accusations of misusing public funds are mounting, with reports revealing that Henyard has been spending taxpayer money on extravagant travel, costly security details, and even a personal skating rink that operates only during her events. As Dalton's budget continues to spiral deeper into the red, Henyard remains fixated on her own brand, leaving the town's residents neglected. With tensions escalating and dissatisfaction spreading, it's evident that Henyard's leadership represents a glaring misalignment of priorities. The town of Dalton is facing a crisis of leadership, as Henyard's self-interest and detachment from the community's struggles become increasingly apparent. While the town desperately needs action to resolve its financial woes, Henyard appears more focused on maintaining a lavish lifestyle and promoting her personal image than addressing the pressing issues that could shape Dalton's future. This has led to growing disillusionment among residents, who feel their leader is out of touch with the very people she was elected to serve. The situation is further fueled by a deep sense of frustration and helplessness, with many wondering how a town in such dire financial straits can continue to be led by someone more concerned with self-glorification than with solving the problems that truly matter.
Landlord showed up here to see her tenant in person after she says Henyard has been dodging both her and rent payments for months.
And despite all the challenges she's facing, Henyard is pressing ahead with her re-election bid. She's even proposed a salary ordinance that would reduce the pay for anyone who takes over her position if she loses the election, while keeping her own salary untouched. It's a bold move, signaling that Henyard isn't going down without a fight. However, the cost of this determination is unclear, especially with the FBI investigation hanging over her head. Earlier this year, federal agents served subpoenas to collect financial records and business documents from Dalton and nearby Thoron Township, where Henyard also serves as a supervisor. The investigation is reportedly focused on allegations of financial misconduct, including claims that Henyard may have used taxpayer money for personal expenses, spending thousands on items such as Amazon purchases, dining out, and luxury hotel stays. If these allegations prove true, Henyard could face serious legal consequences. Henyard has remained mostly tight-lipped about the ongoing FBI investigation, denying any wrongdoing but being careful not to disclose too many details. In a recent Facebook Live broadcast, she addressed some of the accusations against her, but instead of providing solid evidence to clear her name, she launched into an almost 90-minute tirade, blaming her opponents for the town's problems and promising to spill the tea at a later date. Henyard has made similar promises before, even hinting at a podcast where she would reveal the truth about her critics, but so far nothing has materialized, leading many to believe it's all smoke and mirrors. Despite this, Henyard is confident in her re-election, already announcing her campaign and preparing for what she believes will be a landslide victory. However, the residents of Dalton may not be as easily swayed this time. Trustees and residents alike are growing frustrated with the current state of affairs, with many calling for change. Trustee Jason House, a member of the Clean House slate and a challenger to Henyard, has been vocal about the need to restore decency and order to the village. And he's not alone, as many residents are rallying for a new direction. Residents have been speaking out at public meetings, demanding accountability and transparency from their mayor. One resident even asked, "This is an embarrassment to Dalton. Why won't you step down?" It's a fair question, but it seems Henyard has no plans to resign. Instead, she's using every tactic she can to cling to power, even threatening to have her political opponents arrested for not awarding her the emotional and mental task of running for public office, dealing with all the deaths and cases becoming undecided. During one of her infamous Facebook Live broadcasts, Henyard boldly declared that she would be pressing charges against certain individuals, though she didn't specify what crimes they were allegedly guilty of. It's a daring move, especially considering that Henyard herself is currently facing an eviction lawsuit for failing to pay rent on her home. Yes, you heard that right. Tiffany Henyard, the self-proclaimed super mayor, is months behind on rent and is being sued by her landlord.
Six, embattled Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard is mounting a re-election bid. Henyard made the announcement in a post on her Facebook.
Henyard's landlord, Janetta Hull, recently spoke out about the situation, revealing that Henyard and her boyfriend Kamal Woods haven't paid rent since August. According to Hull, the couple owes her several $1,000s and even went as far as changing the locks on the home to keep her out. Hull, who once considered Henyard a friend, now regrets ever renting to her. She has filed an eviction lawsuit, but so far she hasn't been able to serve the papers because Henyard has been avoiding her. Hull commented, "At some point, you have to understand that karma is going to catch up to you. Just pay your rent." It's a troubling situation for someone seeking to maintain a stronghold in her town. But let's not forget Henyard's other financial woes. In addition to the rent issues, there's the ongoing FBI investigation into her spending habits. Reports indicate that Henyard has been using taxpayer funds for personal expenses. Henyard has also been accused of making questionable purchases using the village's credit card, including a $43,000 shopping spree on Amazon. In addition, she's allegedly spent thousands of dollars on luxury travel, dining, and entertainment, all while Dalton's finances continue to spiral out of control. It's no surprise that residents are raising control. As if that weren't enough, there's the issue of her security detail. Henyard has been using police officers as personal bodyguards since a protest over a shooting in 2021, leading to over $1 million in overtime pay for the officers. According to former Dalton Police Chief Robert Collins, who was fired by Henyard late last year, the mayor has been using officers not only for protection, but also for personal errands, such as picking up her daughter from school or going shopping. Collins even revealed that Henyard had instructed him to target certain individuals for harassment, adding to the mounting list of accusations against her. So, what do you think? Is Tiffany Henyard's re-election campaign just a desperate bid to cling to power? Or does she genuinely believe she's the best leader for Dalton? And what about that $50 entry fee? Would you pay it to attend her event? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Stay tuned for more updates on the drama unfolding in Dalton, because something tells us this story is far from over.